Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vale and I'm a mental health advocate, and I share my journey with anxiety and depression in hopes to help you with your own. And now I know I have not been that consistent, but I am going to try to pre-record a few videos. I have a lot of ideas in mind and I just haven't had the time to put everything together. As I mentioned in my last video, I did get a new job as a content creator, and I am also working with other brands helping build social media platforms. So as you know, that's very time consuming. There's a lot of creative energy that gets poured into that, so I know I need to dedicate more time into my own stuff, but here we are. And today what I want to talk about is the fact that I am 500 days vape free. Actually, to be specific, today I'm 516 days vape free. So that pretty much equals to 1 year and 5 months. So next month I'm going to be making my 1 year and 6 months. So a very big milestone, because after that, another 6 months, I'm going to make my 2 years. And I just kind of wanted to go over how I'm doing, how I've stayed vape free, how I've inspired other people in my life. I'm also so grateful in my last vaping video that so many of you decided to take that step and start your journey to become vape free. Someone did send me a DM recently asking if I think it's worth it, and I personally think it is, not only for my mental and physical health. Mental health because I would have anxiety because I felt like I was missing something all the time. I no longer have that sensation. My anxiety has improved drastically, like drastically. Even on my first day of my content creator job, I was just smooth sailing, I was chilling, I was vibing. I also felt like that was holding me back from having an opportunity in a job because of the addiction, having to have it with me all the time. And prior to that, the reason why my addiction grew so much is because I either was working from home or I had an in-office job that they didn't really care. Everyone in the office was vaping, so it was pretty free. So that allowed the opportunity for the addiction to grow even more. And of course, I was vaping in my sleep, which a lot of people can't believe that, but it's true. I've gone on vacation with my best friend and we went to Colorado, and she literally tells people the story of how addicted I was, that she woke up in the middle of the night to hear me go. It's embarrassing, it really is. And also my partner, I see him doing it, so I know she wasn't lying. And I know, and he's seen me do it in the past too. So I got people that can testify for the fact that I was vaping in my sleep. Again, it's a lot of mouth fixation. So you might think, oh, like it's your body needing it. But I mean, partly, yes, it is the addiction, but it's also the mouth fixation. And that was a big part for me. So that's why nicotine-free vapes really helped me out. And I tell everyone that wants to start cutting off of nicotine vapes to start with that. So for myself, I was using the nicotine-free vapes for 1 week after I decided to quit completely cold turkey. And that really helped me with the mouth fixation. And then after that, I had lollipops, pretzels, gum. So I was using that for 1 week. And then after that, I completely stopped vaping overall. And so I guess you can say I am pretty much 500 days vape free. And this is one of them that I used, and I still have it because it's just in my drawer there, and I was looking for it. I was like, I know it's here somewhere, and I wanted to bring it on this video. And it's honestly not that great. Oh, is it upside down? It is. Oops. You can see it right here. It's not the best. I'm actually gonna go ahead and recommend some right here.
All right, so I did some research, and these are the top vapes that I recommend that have 0% nicotine. So Elf Bar for $14, Aroma King for €5.99. I know I have a lot of UK followers, so this is for you guys. Fume for $17, Food God for $18, and B12 Vitamin Vape for $20.
Food God, I'm sure you guys know who that is. Food God, he has an amazing selection of nicotine-free vapes, like, and delicious too. It tastes just like the ones, just like the Fumes, just like the disposable ones. You know, they're really fruity, really flavorful. So those are delicious. They taste amazing. And that one was actually gifted to me by my stepmom because she knew I was trying to quit within that week, and she sent it to me. Unfortunately, a lot of these vape shops, they don't sell it, and it's so sad. My local one did start selling nicotine-free Fumes, which I know a lot of you know about Fumes. Fume is banned in several states because of how high the nicotine percentage is. Like in California, you can't find it. I remember when I was really addicted, I went on a trip to Cali and I couldn't find it. So I had to settle for something else. So it's one of those things that you're going to need to look online. But a lot of these places, they ship it to you. Like Food God, if you go on the website, they ship it to you. And so my partner is actually planning on starting to quit vaping, and I'm gonna follow him on his journey journey. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to film his journey. I did get an email from an app that's called Jones, where they help you keep track of your vaping journey. They give you tips. They calculate how much money you're saving with the days that you're quitting vaping. They're also coming out with a microdosed nicotine mint that can help through your withdrawal symptoms, so that way it alleviates some of the anxiety that you get from quitting. And I think it's really interesting. If you guys want to know more about it, let me know in the comments below. I'll explain a little more maybe in my next video. They seem really cool. It's a new app. I'm gonna link it in my description. So if you guys are looking for an app to track your vaping, to track how much you're saving. Someone commented in my 6-month vape free video a few weeks ago, and they were saying that they calculated how much they were spending every week on a vape, a disposable vape. It was pretty much like buying a PS5 every month and then throwing it in the trash, because you're throwing the disposables away, right? That's what's happening. So he was pretty much buying a PS5 every single month and then just trashing it. Which, when you put it in that perspective, I was in shock. I was like, because I did my own calculations, but of course, I calculated like my bills, like, oh, I could pay this instead, But when you put it in perspective, a PS5 you could have 12 PS5s in a year. That's crazy. That's really crazy. So that really like shocked me, and I was like, wow, yeah. And I hope you're still vape free. I hope that you're doing great. And everyone that commented, I hope you're continuing your journey and that you're killing it. I know it's difficult, but that's why I'm here. I want to go ahead and share some more tips as to how I remain vape free, how I still struggle. I feel like, especially with addiction, it's a never-ending battle, especially when you have such a high level. And let me just say this, because there were some people in the comments saying like, oh, I'm gonna vape forever, and like I don't have a problem, which is fine. I think everyone handles addiction differently. We're all made differently. We all have different mindsets. We all have different biology, different genetics. So the thing is, not everyone is like you. I mean, there's some people that can manage their vaping. There's some people that they only vape in the morning and that they only vape at night, or that they have it really managed out, really controlled. But we're talking about someone that has an addiction, where they're vaping in their sleep, where they're vaping while they're working, where they're vaping while they're in a Zoom call, and that is so unprofessional, where they're having full-on anxiety attacks because they can't find their vape. I've seen it so many times where we're just hanging out and we're just chilling on the couch or on a bed or like at a hangout. Maybe it falls, or maybe it's like it gets caught up in the covers or in between the cushions or whatever it is. It gets lost for a millisecond. Maybe they're sitting on it, and then a whole freak out where it's like, where's my vape? And like literally start throwing sheets around, start throwing pillows around, start taking the cushions out, start moving everyone around like, I can't find my vape. Now that is the level that we're talking about. And that 100%, not everyone wants to live that lifestyle. If you're doing good, if you're managing good for you. I applaud you, congratulations, but not everyone is at that level. Some people are at a different level where it's a problem, where it's straight up a problem. So mental health, anxiety, physical health, my lungs were just not good. My left lung still has some minor issues that I wheeze every now and then when I'm doing cardio or something, but it's getting better. I'm actually gonna get a scan of my lungs just to see what's going on and see the progression of, now being 1 year without vaping. So we're gonna see that. We're gonna just keep checking up on that, because once you cause that damage, you need to make sure that you're getting checked up. It does add up in every way, in the anxiety, in the physical, in the financial. So that's why I find like it is worth it if you feel like in those areas you were struggling, because that's what I was struggling with. Not only is it saving me money, not only is my breathing better, and not only is my mental health better, overall, it takes time. It takes a lot of mental strength, so that way you can go ahead and overcome those thoughts that they tell you, oh, just one hit, you're gonna be good, just take one. Don't take that one hit. I'm telling you, every comment that I see that they're like, I quit, and like, refuse that one hit, because once you take that one hit, it's a quick slope downhill where you can go ahead and start that addiction back again. So that's why I think it's really important to refuse that one hit and sit with those feelings, because yes, it's uncomfortable, but the strongest people face the most uncomfortable moments. So I think that's why you gotta have that mentality, So for myself, I still randomly get cravings. And it's not cravings like I'm thinking about it, but it's like if it's in front of me, if I've been drinking, if I'm at a party or a barbecue or having some drinks, whatever. I mean, I don't drink that much, but that's another thing that I cut back a lot on too. I'm not completely sober. I do indulge in social drinking. So yeah, so when I drink, the cravings hit because 4 out of 5 times in that whatever gathering I'm in, there is at least one person that has a vape, and just seeing them hit it, like my eyes, they wander and they're like, oh, that looks good. For a millisecond though, and then instantly, I am not a person that vapes. Instantly, my brain is already wired to think that. Anytime I have a thought like that, instantly, no. We're in Halloween season, like, you know, the holidays and whatever. So of course there's a lot of events going on, a lot of parties and haunted houses and stuff. So I went with a group of friends, we went, and then of course, there's people that are vaping. Of course there are. So there was like these 2 girls in front of me, and I'm gonna put a picture here. I'm gonna blur out their faces, but here they are, these lovely ladies right in front of me. And of course, like, I avoid the smoke, you know, it's for it to not hit my face because secondhand vaping is a thing, but we try to avoid it as much as we can. That's why I took a picture, because I was like, this is just so interesting how even though it's been over 500 days, 1 year, 5 months, I still get these cravings. And it's because it's right in front of your face. And I was drinking. I had maybe I think I had 3 high noons, which I'm sure you guys know it's a vodka seltzer. And you know, I wasn't drunk, but I was tipsy, and just that alcohol sensation, because usually when you drink, you want to vape. It's crazy how that thought still comes to mind, and I still get that feeling, and I still have to fight those urges, right? But it's gotten so much better. And I'm telling you, every single day it gets better, especially after the first week. Just make it through the first week, and even if you're at 8 months, you could still relapse. But as long as you keep going, you keep telling yourself that every time you get those thoughts, I am not a person that vapes. I'm not. That's literally one of the mantras that I always tell myself. I've embedded it in my brain. It's a part of my DNA, I swear. Because I am not a person that lives that lifestyle anymore. I'm not a person that puts things into my body like that. So I think it's really important to have your statement and make sure you repeat that to yourself every single time. Because if you think about it, if you're sitting there and you let that pass through, the craving will pass. And the fact that you made it through that, it's so much more rewarding than taking that hit. Because if you already know in your mind, you come to that point where you're like, that's it, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore, and then you go back on your word, that messes up with your self-esteem. That messes up with your self-confidence, because you feel like, wow, I can't even do what I said I was gonna do. It hurts you. It really does. So if you have that mindset and you're set on quitting, and you get to that point that you're like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna do it, and then you refused it, and then a few seconds later, when that craving, that urge literally dissolves, it's so much more rewarding. You feel so proud of yourself. You're like, wow, I did that, you did, okay? So give yourself props. It's so big. Your self-talk is so important to your quitting. And just the mouth fixation. That's why I recommend all the nicotine-free vapes, lollipops, pretzels, just like people that are quitting cigarettes. A lot of the tips that have been given for people that smoke cigarettes can be translated to people that vape. Another tip that I have is just avoiding any club scenes, because with the hookah, with everyone, you know, partying, alcohol, everything, there's vapes everywhere. So it's really important to just making sure that you are focused on that goal. You make sure that you're surrounding your environment with what you want to achieve, which is not vaping. So why surround yourself with others that are vaping? I'm not saying cut off your friends, but I'm saying set those boundaries, not only with your friends, but with yourself. It's a sacrifice, just like anything. You have to sacrifice things to get to where you want to be. So if you can just, you know, detox a little bit, take your time, and it's not that long, just 1 week. That's the roughest time, 1 week. Once you make that 1 week, go ahead, go party, go do what you got to do, but of course with those boundaries, and make sure that you're ready mentally to avoid that. And every time I had that feeling too, I would tell myself, I made it this far Why am I gonna go ahead and go all the way back to zero with all the efforts that I did? It makes no sense. That's why I think the self-talk is super important, because you are your own cheerleader, you are your best friend, you are the one that's always gonna be there in your life. You're your biggest supporter. And if you're not, you need to be your biggest supporter. You need to change that mindset and become your number one person. I preach that to everyone. You need to take care of yourself first, because you come first. You can't take care of others if you're not right. If you're not stable financially, if you're not stable mentally, if you're not stable physically, you can't help others. So you need to make sure that you're good before you try to help others. And that's something that I preach. I live on it. I tell that with everyone, even in relationships. You need to make sure that you're straight. You're not gonna find your person if you're not good. If you're looking for an ideal person and you're not the ideal person either, how do you expect that to work? It's not gonna happen. So you need to start creating that life that you want and start becoming and thinking about the person that you want to be. So that's some tips right there for you guys. I really appreciate all of you. Please like and subscribe. Leave some comments, any questions that you have, anything else you want me to talk about. If you want me to follow my partner on his vape-free journey, if you want more tips on how to quit vaping, if you want tips on how to stay vape-free, anything at all, please leave them below. I love you guys. Have a blessed day. Take care.